Welcome to The Explainer. Today we're just going to bypass all the small talk and dive straight into a mystery that is probably happening right now, literally in your very own living room. It's a sensory puzzle involving a creature you share your life with, and it actually reveals an entire hidden world of communication.
Picture this. It's late at night, you're sitting quietly on the couch, and your cat jumps up right beside you. They circle once, settle near your arm, and you smile. You lean closer, and you gently kiss their forehead.
And for a second, absolutely nothing happens. Then, their ears twitch slightly, and they freeze. Now, if you look closely at this reaction, they aren't baring their teeth. They aren't hissing. They are definitely not angry. And they aren't exactly cowering or bolting for the nearest exit either, right? Their nervous system hasn't tipped into full-blown panic. So, they aren't scared. They are just confused. And this tiny, kind of awkward moment reveals a massive disconnect between us. See, your cat simply does not understand face-to-face kissing the way we humans naturally do. In the feline world, pressing a face directly against another creature, that is not naturally a sign of affection at all. To them, it's a completely foreign concept. Okay, let's dive into this. Because if your cat doesn't inherently understand what a kiss means, then why do they let us do it? Why do some close their eyes, completely tolerate the invasion of space, and why do a few even start to actively seek it out? Well, the answer goes way beyond simple tolerance. It actually takes us straight into their biology.
To really get this, we have to look at the massive evolutionary gap between us. Us humans, we evolved to communicate emotional bonding through facial expressions, lips, and extreme physical closeness. But if we look over at the feline side, well, cats possess this highly sensitive nervous system that's built primarily for survival. I mean, their whiskers can literally detect microscopic changes in airflow. So when a giant human face suddenly moves directly toward them, it's an intense, highly instinctual event. To a cat, a face-to-face encounter triggers proximity alerts. It doesn't trigger immediate emotional warmth.
So the crucial point is this. Your cat is not reacting to the kiss itself. They are reacting to what the kiss predicts. And honestly, this is a massive paradigm shift in how we view pet ownership. At first, you were simply invading their personal space in a strange but non-harmful way. But over time, their deeply analytical brain starts making some really interesting connections.
Let's move to and see how this builds step by step. It all starts at step 1 with pure instinct. Your face approaches, and their system instantly goes on high alert. But then step 2 happens. The feline brain absolutely excels at pattern recognition. Every single time that face approaches, it happens alongside a really calm tone of voice, a gentle touch, and physical warmth. Finally, we reach step 3. That random physical invasion transforms into a much larger emotional experience of safety. They aren't learning what a human kiss is. They're learning that this specific sequence equals profound trust.
Because if we really want to understand them, we have to recognize their actual language. Cats absolutely possess their own version of affection, but it's built heavily around scent and familiarity rather than human touch. They engage in scent exchange, head rubbing, grooming each other, and sleeping closely together. These behaviors are exactly how they transfer identity and safety. So your face, to them, carries massive amounts of information regarding your stress levels and familiarity, far more than it carries the romantic human concept of a kiss.
Now, what's really interesting about this is how beautifully it breaks down our mutual misunderstandings. Think about forced closeness, like a tight hug. Our human intent there is pure love, but the feline reality, it's nervous system overload. We just naturally assume love has to be expressed in human terms, right? Hugging, squeezing, constant touching. But for an animal built on swift survival instincts, too much restraint literally triggers panic. This teaches us such a powerful lesson. Sometimes the absolute most loving thing you can do for your cat is simply apply less pressure.
And when you stop forcing human affection on them, you actually start noticing the incredible ways they naturally speak to you. Take the slow blink, for example. It's a tiny movement. It is so easy to overlook. But for an animal whose entire existence is wired to stay alert, deliberately lowering their eyelids and dropping their visual vigilance around another creature, that's not just a random action. It is a profound indicator of temporary, absolute vulnerability.
Which brings us to the ultimate realization of what's actually happening when you lean in for that kiss and they offer a slow blink back at you. They aren't thinking, oh, I am being kissed by my human. The gesture itself is biologically completely irrelevant to them. What they are actually thinking, what their entire nervous system is acknowledging, is simply, I feel safe. That established feeling of absolute safety, that is the real ultimate payoff. And once you know what to look for, you'll see they are constantly talking to you in a language far quieter than ours. It's the tail gently wrapping around your leg as they walk by. It's that slow blink from all the way across the room. It's the tiny, almost inaudible chirp they make the very second they notice you enter a room. Or honestly, just the fact that they choose to sleep nearby or silently follow you from room to room without demanding a single thing. Noticing these quiet signs is absolutely vital for deepening the bond you share. But sometimes they do actually bridge the gap physically. Have you ever had your cat initiate a nose touch, a gentle forehead press, or even rub their mouth vigorously against your face? While we humans immediately interpret these as cute kitty kisses, there's a fascinating biological reality underneath. See, your cat possesses specialized scent glands around their cheeks, forehead, and mouth. So when they press against your face, they are actively depositing familiar scent markers right onto you. And this brilliantly illustrates one of the most incredible realizations of feline behavior. When a cat voluntarily initiates that facial closeness, they aren't marking you as property. They are attempting to mix their identity with yours. It's not about ownership at all. It's about belonging. They've literally adapted to your physical language through the emotional safety you've provided them over time. So if we pull all of this together, we uncover a really beautiful truth. Your cat was never actually decoding the kiss itself. They were never trying to figure out what human romance meant. They were decoding you. They were analyzing your energy, your physical consistency, your gentle intentions, and the calm, predictable feeling your presence creates inside their highly sensitive nervous system. Which leads us to this final thought. Just think about what's actually happening in that quiet moment when two completely different species manage to deeply understand each other. It's not because the cat learned the definition of a kiss, and it's not because we learned to speak fluent feline. It's because love was never about perfectly sharing the same language. It was about creating a feeling strong enough that language stops mattering entirely. They simply learned what your love feels like. So now I leave you with a question to take back to your own living room. How does your cat react when you kiss them? Do they lean closer? Do they freeze? Do they offer a vulnerable, slow blink? Or do they just walk away completely? Pay really close attention the next time you lean in, because the answer they give you might reveal far more about the deep, silent trust between you two than the human concept of affection ever could.